Notice of public meeting of the City Commission of the City of Brownsville. Pursuant to Chapter 551, Title 5 of the Texas Government Code, the Texas Open Meetings Act, notice is hereby given that the City Commission of the City of Brownsville, Texas, in accordance with Article 5, Section 12 of the Charter of said city, will convene a special meeting on Monday, September the 16th, 2013, at 6 p.m. in the Commission Chambers on the second floor of Brownsville City Hall, located at 1001 East Elizabeth Street, Brownsville, Cameron County, Texas. Pledge of Allegiance and Invocation, please stand. To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. On the Texas flag, I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one indivisible.
Pastor Acero Valencia. Bienvenido.
Gracias. Dice la palabra, bienaventurado el país y la nación que está bajo Dios. Vamos a orar. Padre Celestial, esta tarde pedimos tu bendición para esta ciudad, para cada uno de los habitantes y en especial para los líderes de esta ciudad que están aquí presentes. Ilumina con tu luz sus corazones y sus mentes para buscar el bien de los ciudadanos que están bajo su cargo. Bendíceles en Cristo Jesús. Amén.
Amén.
Adalberto de los Santos.
Why don't you stand right here with your family? And Debbie, why don't you get down there and hand in while I read the proclamation, okay? Jessica's running a little late. How are you doing? How are you doing, young man? Okay. Why don't we all stand up here? Let me read the proclamation, okay? Proclamation of the City Commission of Brownsville, Texas, recognizing Adalberto de los Santos for bringing recognition to the city of Brownsville in the world of music. Whereas Adalberto de los Santos, a student of Rivera High School, was born and raised in Brownsville, Texas by his parents, Arnoldo de los Santos and Sonia de los Santos, and whereas Adalberto, also known as Bert, dreamed of writing, recording, and rapping, he and his brother Bam formed MOB, or Mexicans of Brownsville, and enjoyed success opening for various famous acts. And whereas his parents understood that the road to a better life began with an education, Bert moved to San Antonio, Texas, and enrolled in nursing school. And while Bert pursued a nursing career, MOB continued performing around South Texas, and on December 2005, Bert graduated from nursing school. And whereas shortly after graduation, Bert suddenly suffered a collapsed lung due to spontaneous pneumothorax, his brother Orlando de los Santos sought immediate medical attention for him, and after 29 days, Bert lived to tell his story. MOB stopped making music. While in the hospital, Bert, unsure of his fate, turned to words and to God for comfort, continued to write, and never gave up on his dream of becoming an artist in the music industry. And whereas after 6 years of recovery, Bert pursued his music career with a different attitude and a new name, Alfabeto, taken from the Greek alpha, or A, the first letter of his name, and Beto, excuse me, the name of his childhood friends, his family, and close friends called him. And whereas Alfabeto has released his full-length single CD, Revelation, on June 25th, 2013, his CD has been submitted to the Latin Grammy Academy, and the Academy is invited to walk on the green carpet this November, where he will be interviewed. His CD was chosen out of 8,200 CDs into the top urban CDs, with top 30 gracing the green carpet. Additionally, Alfabeto has performed in many venues such as CNN Latino Live, Sábado Gigante, Hollywood Life, has done numerous Rio Grande Valley radio interviews, and is recognized in Argentina, Chile, Mexico, and Dominican Republic. Now, therefore, we, the members of the City Commission of the City of Brownsville, Texas, by virtue of the authority vested by the charter of said city, do hereby recognize Adalberto de los Santos for bringing honor and recognition to his hometown through his musical talent and achieving his dream career in the face of adversity. Done on this, the 16th day of September 2013, Antonio Martinez, Mayor, and the City Commission. Congratulations. Adalberto, if you'd like to say a few words, you're more than welcome to.
I just want to say thank you all very much for this opportunity, for having me here, for recognizing me. I want to thank God for another second chance at life. And it's just amazing to have this opportunity to represent Brownsville, Texas in a great way, in a positive way. And thank you all very much for this. And to all my people back behind me that came to support me, thank you all very much. It means a lot for me all to come and support me. Thank you all.
Why don't you come up here and take the pictures that, make sure all the photographers get all the pictures they need. Don't cut your dad, though. Okay, well, thanks again. Congratulations. Keep up the good work. Okay. More proud. Item number 2.
Item number 2, public hearing and action on resolution number 2013-049 of the City of Brownsville, Texas, to adopt the fiscal year 2014 annual budget and resolving other matters thereof.
Honorable Mayor, members of the City Commission, I think this is our third public hearing on our budget. We started on August the 6th, then we followed with a few others. We also had public hearings on the tax rate. We filed the budget on August the 16th at the City Secretary's office. By law, it must be there 30 days for public inspection. 30 days are here, which is September 16th. And this is a public hearing to go over and hopefully adopt the budget for 2014. I have a PowerPoint presentation. I'll go as rapidly as I can. By the way, we were recognized for our budget document for last year by the GFOA. We did get an award for in recognition of our budget presentation. Of course, a lot of credit goes to our budget officer, Mr. Jorge Santillan. He assisted us in getting this award. We also, of course, get the award for the financial in this has been, we've been receiving this for the last 36 years, consecutive. Anyway, to start the budget process, the budget that is being proposed tonight has a tax rate of 70.0613 cents per $100 valuation. And of course, we do recommend that the budget that was adopted, that was actually filed at the City Secretary's office on August 16th, be adopted this evening. The total budget for the year, as far as expenditures, is $131,914,480. This includes all the funds. This is a pie chart that identifies where the money comes from. The number one revenue source for the entire city is property tax, followed by fees and services, and the third one is sales tax. That's for all the city's governmental and enterprise funds. As far as, and this is another pie showing the expenditures, and the number one expenditure for the entire city is public safety at 41.4%. These are just same numbers, but that were just in the pie chart. This budget includes a COLA for the fire and police, as well as city staff. Beginning with fiscal year 2007, we froze the homestead values of the over 65 and disabled. As a result of this, we have $555,444 less in property taxes. There were 13 new positions that are included in the budget. It's $455,687. There was medical insurance contributions by the fire department and the non-collective bargaining employees. There were some changes in their increases to their contributions. There was no change to the police because of the contract. And these changes are here in the next column, or next slide. We went from we went from $15 to $20. This is their contribution. We eliminated the employee plus one, and we substituted that with employee and child and children. It's $130. This is our monthly deductions. Employee spouse went from $130 to $180. That's a $50 increase. Employee family from $150 to $200, also a $50 increase. Again, the police remains unchanged. These are the positions that are in the budget, 13, and it calls for planning department, parks administration, parks, graphics, health, and building inspections for a total of $455,687. Not included in this year's budget is the additional funding of approximately $175,000 that would be needed in case the sequestration moves forward. We're hoping that the funding will continue to fund our towers at the airport. But if it doesn't, the total cost is about $700,000. We asking the JBIC to contribute half of that, and then the other portion would come from TxDOT rather will contribute $350,000, JBIC $175,000, and the remaining $175,000 from the general fund. And this is a breakdown of those costs associated with the running the tower at the airport. These are the transfers, or actually cash transfers from the PUB for the last few years. For 2014, we have a $7.7 million, and utility services for $4,528,000. Again, the cost, the monies that the city gets, it increases if we reduce our utility services, our usage rather. Sales tax, so far we were at 1.3% above last year, but we're just barely making the budget by 0.7%. Again, these are some of the revenues that are in the budget. The bridge, hopefully it'll get better as the year goes by in 2014. We have seen a drop in 2013. The general fund budget is balanced, $94,613,659 in revenues and $94,613,659 in expenditures. In total fund balance is $18 million, but a lot of it is already spoken for. We have non-spendable, restricted, committed, assigned. The only amount that's unassigned is $8,993,742, which is about 9.51% in reserves. And this is a breakdown of those numbers that you see here: the 42,188, the 1,379,000, the 4,004,000, the 3.3. All is identified here. What each one includes. On the assigned, we have the AEP settlement lawsuit of $3,060,000 that's set aside as an assigned fund balance. This is the monies that have been allocated from actually spent from the proceeds that came in from the AEP. And most of them, obviously the majority of them, are for the downtown revitalization project, which is about $500,000 so far. Now, these are just definitions of what the non-spendable, restricted, committed, and unassigned fund balance are. General fund, we're looking at this is the revenues and pie chart of the revenues in the general fund. The number one revenue source for the general fund is the property tax at 27.5%, followed by the sales tax of 26.99%.
On the Market Square revitalization, all those procurements, did that come before us?
They were go ahead, we went ahead and as the monies were coming in, we went ahead and used those funds to pay for those expenditures.
I realize that, but did those items come before the, on an agenda before the commission? I really don't remember those.
I think they probably were discussed, but they probably were never brought to you, probably. That's what it was.
But yet they're being awarded.
Well, this is money that has already been spent, that the money has to come from somewhere, and the revenue sources are the $3,060,000.
I realize that, but at any time, did we vote on that as a commission for those expenditures to take place?
I don't recall, no.
I had asked you about this when we went through agenda items before. Nobody had ever contacted us about a $25,000 reimbursement on the moving of the Stillman House. And now I see Market Square revitalizations, which I understand, okay, they've already taken place. But did that come before the commission to be as an approved expenditure?
I think what happened, Charlie, you probably can answer that. It's probably approved by the city manager.
The purchasing of the materials was brought to the commission for the Market Square revitalization project.
I'm sorry, it's just that I'm seeing things here that haven't come before this commission. I understand that the city manager has his authority to spend a certain amount, but there are things that I believe that the people need to be knowing about and that they should know, and especially if it's going to be coming out of our budget, that these expenditures be brought out and that we know about these. Because I see on here things that maybe members of this council haven't been notified of. And although I continue and I reiterate that I understand that the city manager has his authority to spend a certain amount of money without coming before the commission, these are coming before us at budget, and now I'm having to question you the day that you want us to approve the budget.
Well, this is our expenses that have already been made, Commissioner. I'm just going over what's in the fund balance, the assigned fund balance. That's what this is.
I remain the same.
Going back to this is the general fund revenues, which includes 26.99% in sales tax and 27.5% in property tax. And these are the expenses. The expenses, the majority are in public safety at 57.72%. And this is a breakdown of the majority of the cost in the general fund is in personnel, 72.86%. A year ago, or in 2011, we had fallen below our budget as far as fund balance. We have a policy that we must maintain a fund balance above 15%. In 2011, we were at 12.59%. In 2012, we exceeded the 15% at 15.69%. We're hoping that in 2013, that number will remain above the 15% as soon as we close the books for 2013. One of the areas that we look at very closely is the hurricanes. We have, for the last few years, trying to get reimbursed for some monies that are due us from FEMA. The latest meeting we had was on September 12th. We met with another auditor from the Texas Division of Emergency Management, and they indicated to us that it's very likely that we will be getting $231,000. There was a revised number of $231,745.47, but they also told us about the monies that we spent for police and fire of $179,707.52. That is a possibility we may also get these funds. Again, this happened in 2008, Dolly. This was Hurricane Dolly. We're here in 2014, and we're still waiting for some of those funds. Convention Tourism Fund. This is something we've gone over before. We have a fund balance of $311,506. Community Development, it's a grant. Non-bonded debt, This is monies that we pay, we're paying JBIC for the loan that we had for $1 million at no interest charged to us by JBIC. And the money is being paid from the 2% monies that we would receive from JBIC for administrative services such as the finance and city secretary's offices. Now, this is money that is paid back from that fee that we used to get. These are the monies that we spent on that loan of $1 million. And that's a breakdown of some of the properties. This were all real estate properties that were acquired through the $1 million loan from JBIC. Debt service fund, we have a fund balance at the end of 2014 of $2,671,793. This is the debt service requirements, $153,460,000, $153,460,000, well, that much, $153 million that we owed. Not all of it is subject to property tax. We have $8,209,923 that's subject through a self-supporting debt. Paseo de la Resaca, Linear Park from CDBG, BCIC on the sports park, and then the airport, which is being paid by JBIC, for a total of $8,209,973 that's not related to the tax, property tax. A landfill tipping fee, it's balanced. Airport, it's balanced with barely $1,915 as a fund balance. The bridge fund, the motor vehicle parking system fund, the public transit fund. Again, this is the public transit fund. We do get quite a bit of monies from the FTA at $2,037,000, and the rest is from 50% of other revenues like advertising, transit, lease revenues. We also get a grant from the state of $570,000, and the general fund puts in $742,852 for the bus operations. The golf course, it's balanced. Again, these are the new positions. These are positions that were requested, but only $455,687 were funded. Capital outlays, and that concludes the budget hearing on the budget. It's a public hearing, so
has the in-housing of the security been taken into consideration in this budget, or are we going to come back for an amendment?
the monies are already there, Commissioner. We just need to allocate some of those funds to the in-house security. And that's being done right now. It's been planned, and hopefully we'll have something at the beginning of the fiscal year. But the monies are already there in place. We're going to be using those funds that were allocated to each department to hire the in-house security.
Okay.
Pete, on the same note, you are going to be placing them under Chief Rodriguez, right?
That's correct.
Have you taken into consideration that we've already given him animal control, that we've already given him traffic, and now we're going to be giving him a whole new set of security guards? And in his budget, did his budget include sergeants, 2 sergeants, a lieutenant, and possibly another commander that we're going to have to add on? And you know we're going to have to add on because it's impossible for the current staff that he has to be able to take on this. We've already added 2, now we're adding 3 to his departments, and you expect him to function with the same command staff, with the same lieutenants, with the same sergeants? Has that been taken into consideration for the future budget?
Yes, I do expect him to handle it. And
You expect him to handle it?
He has taken it, the police department has taken this in a very positive mode.
I realize
I
that.
sat down with them, they feel that they can, that they're welcoming this. I don't know if we have much of an option, but we're welcoming this type of security into the city of Brownsville. We're gonna make it very positive, integrate with our community, integrate with the police department. We're gonna work on making this shine. It'll be a very effective type of security system.
I'm getting it from you, Charlie. So when I hear it in the future, we'll talk.
getting it from you, yes.
Any other public comment? Hearing.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Motion to approve?
Second.
No, I mean, do I hear a motion to approve?
Motion to approve, I'm sorry.
Okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you very much, Pete.
Item number 3, public hearing and action on first reading of ordinance number 2013-1581, levying ad valorem taxes for tax year 2013 for the use and support of the municipal government of the city of Brownsville, Texas for fiscal year 2014, providing for the interest and sinking fund for fiscal year 2014 of the city of Brownsville, and general obligation funds.
Can we go back to the... Honorable Mayor, members of the City Commission, we are proposing the same tax rate that we have for 2013, and that tax rate, we're requesting that they maintain the same one, which is a 70.0613 per $100 valuation. That's an increase of 2.44% over the effective tax rate. The last few years, you look at the slide on the bottom, 2012, 2013, and 2014, we have had the same tax rates for those 3 years. And this is just a chart indicating some of the tax rates we've had for the last few years. Again, it's 2.44% above the effective tax rate. It will generate about $890,000 more. Again, we lost, because of the freeze on over the 65 and elderly, of $555,444. This is a public hearing, but the motion that we would need from someone would be that I move that, et cetera, when the tax rate is adopted. The tax rate, by the way, has a 3% discount for those early payers in October, a 2% in November, and a 1% in December. And the ordinance specifies the amount that is going to the general fund and the amount that's going to the debt service fund. That's what the ordinance that has been presented to you indicates. But before we, of course, we need to close it for public hearing, but before that, we need a motion when it's ready for a motion.
You need the motion before,
Well, you need to close the public hearing, Mayor.
once
and
we have, any other comments?
Move it close. Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
and to adopt the tax rate, we must say what's there. It's by law.
Okay, so
Somebody needs to say it.
whoever wants
Motion.
to make the motion, we can follow the language there.
I move that the property tax rate be increased by the adoption of a tax rate of .700613 cents, which is effectively a 2.44% increase in the tax rate.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Public hearing?
No public comments.
Okay, I think Mr. Brown is next.
Item 5, consideration and action on resolution number 2013-051 to accept a grant offer in the amount of $7.9 million from the Federal Aviation Administration for project number 3-048-003-0411-2013 for airport improvements at Brownsville South Padre Island International Airport.
Mayor and Commissioners, this represents 90% of the project. The project actually will include an $885,947 contribution that is the local share to be paid for by a CO issue that has already been brought before the attention of the Commission, which is also to be repaid with PFC number 7 funds. Basically, staff recommends approval of this grant. The project itself, I think, has come before you've seen, basically we refer to it as the Taxiway Bravo project. It's a major paving and marking project at the airport.
Move to approve.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Would adjourn?
Second.
Yeah, Commissioner, I tell you what, Commissioner had asked if she could go through the proclamation, but I think she could do it on her own. So, all those in favor of adjourning?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.